So NFL football, Sunday football happens tomorrow, but we had a Thursday night game.
We did.
All right. So Thursday night was actually very, very fun game to watch. Washington and Giants.
God, it was so good, and the Giants fucking gianted so hard.
Yeah, so 30-29, Washington barely ekes this out.
Yep.
Now, earlier I said, I will be able to get my true feeling on these teams after week 2 because week 1 was so weird. All right. We talked a lot about Washington and their defense and how fucking good they are.
How good they should be.
And, well, I thought they were, like, based off of last year, I thought they were actually good. But, damn, if they didn't, like, 2 weeks in a row now, they're disappointing. They've got to turn it around because they've got so much talent on that team. And to let the Giants put up 29 points on you and keep the game that close is embarrassing.
They should have lost.
They should have lost.
If it weren't for the offsides that may have actually not been an offsides.
Rewatching that now, I don't think it was an offsides.
No, it was the perfect timing of the snap.
Yeah, the defensive or that lineman got off at the correct time. It was, he was lined up next to the ball. So as soon as the ball started to move, he was there. He was off the ball fast, doing his job, and he got flagged.
Yeah.
All right.
That's tough. That's a tough way to lose a game.
It's
and
real
Washington
tough.
got very lucky. I am not. I don't know if I'm betting Washington again for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that good.
Yeah. So Heineke looked okay. He put up good numbers.
Their offense looks better than their defense, and their defense is supposed to be their strong suit.
Heineke surprised me. So Heineke being a former Vikings quarterback, I was a fan of Heineke. I wanted him to be our backup for years because I liked what I saw out of him. I never wanted him to be our starter. But he's actually progressed way further than I thought he would. Still, I think a backup quarterback, but he's some guy that you can throw in there and win games with for sure.
He is becoming a high-level backup in the NFL.
Yeah.
He is a 33 to 40 range quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
You can win with him.
Not necessarily Gardner Minshew level, but close.
You can win with him, but you don't want to have to start him.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll be critical of him here. He threw a absolutely horrible interception in a time in the game when you don't want to. It was just really
fuck
poor,
did they
really
put the ball in the air was my question.
And I think that just goes to experience. He was probably not up to the moment right there. But then again, he gets the ball back, drives his team down the field into field goal range, and
His
Dustin
kicker
Hopkins misses the field goal right. But don't worry, there's that penalty that we were just alluding to, which brings the ball forward 5 yards, gives him another chance at the kick, and Dustin Hopkins almost misses it right again. He just squeaks it into the right side of the field goal post, and Washington comes out with that win. All right.
So I got paid because Washington won. I didn't bet the spread. I bet the money line. Thank God.
Yeah, it's surprising. Look,
they're not good.
I don't think the Giants are a good team.
No.
Daniel Jones, again, didn't impress me. He was absolutely atrocious in the first half. Saquon Barkley it's got to, I think, yes, I know you said before on a previous pod that you think he's overrated. I think he's overrated at this point, too.
A little bit. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying he's bad.
I feel really bad for him because he's one of those, I wouldn't say generational talents, but he is just one of those top 5 type running backs that has been on a team.
I don't think he is that guy.
You know?
I don't.
I think he has that potential, but he's just been on the Giants, and it's all been on his shoulders. And then you get these situations like his fucking knee.
Listen,
it happened with Adrian Peterson.
You can have a great year and be on a bad team.
You can.
You know who I thought was going to be fantastic and wasn't?
Tim Tebow.
No. You're trying to derail the show again. All right. No, Trent Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Richardson looked like a guy who was going to be a franchise running back.
Yeah.
He broke Jim Brown's records in Cleveland. That shit does not happen. You know what he wasn't?
A star NFL running back.
He was barely an NFL running back after we traded him to Indy.
Yeah.
I like Saquon. Saquon has so much physical ability, but I don't know if he puts it all together. I think he's overrated.
I'm worried that he's going to end up having a Todd Gurley career here real quick.
I'm not worried about necessarily the injury derailing it all. I just think that he was such a focal point of an offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was huge for Penn State. And then he was a massive focal point of the Giants offense in his rookie year. Running backs wear down. They wear down quickly. We've talked about this. You don't make it past 30 damn near at all.
That's why I'm saying I see the Todd Gurley comp with him, because Todd Gurley was so overused with the Rams. He was one of those.
I thought you were saying something different about that.
No. I think Todd Gurley was an elite, talented running back, and he was so overused. I mean, he was getting over 400 yards or 400 carries per season.
If you touch 400 carries, 400 touches in a year, you're being used too fucking much.
Like the team should have no choice but to trade you at the top of your value at that point. Because it's abusive at that point.
Yeah, it's fucking like.
And so it happens on teams where they don't have a good offense.
That is why I am not high on Derrick Henry, because his usage is so goddamn high.
Yeah.
That's why I love
running backs who could handle that. He has the body.
Derrick
that can
Henry
handle
is
it
the
a little
only
bit more.
guy who is built for that.
But I mean, look at Adrian Peterson.
But Saquon is not.
Adrian Peterson, he's a bigger guy, not as big as Derrick Henry by any means.
There are not
but
many
he
guys
was
that
the
are.
focal point of the Vikings offense, and you saw injuries happen, right?
Yes.
And you saw him start to degrade because of those. Now, I think, and I'm biased, but Adrian Peterson is one of the best NFL running backs ever, and then he has his career kind of starting to get shut down because of those injuries, and then hitting his kid in the balls with a switch. And
Adrian Peterson is the second best running back that I have seen with my eyes and actually watched their games.
behind Barry Sanders?
No, I didn't watch Barry Sanders play. I'm not that fucking old. When did Barry Sanders...
He played in the 90s.
Okay, so what, 95?
95, 96, something like that, yeah.
I think he retired in 95. I was 7. I was a big baseball kid growing up. I didn't get really huge into football until the Browns came back and they made it to the playoffs with the Steelers. So, no, shit, that before that. When the fuck? All right, so I do like Sackett's idea of having drinks while we're on the podcast, but it does kind of derail the show.
That's when we need to bring in a third person who is just our fact checker.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders retired in 1999.
99? Okay, so I did see Barry Sanders play.
Yeah.
I saw Barry Sanders play.
And I still, like, I watched Walter Payton on film. Like, my dad was a big Bears fan from the Chicago area, so I've got VHS tapes that I would watch.
My dad was my dad was
Peyton
born in
fan.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Huge Bears fan.
Yeah, so I got to see the fridge. I got to see Walter Payton and all that stuff. And so I absolutely respect Walter Payton, great running back. But for me, it's Barry Sanders, the best running back I've seen.
So, but that was a tough time for me, that time when he retired, because the Browns were leaving.
Okay.
There is a time where I didn't have
Football. NFL football.
I had that's why I'm basically my entire year of football always hinged on Ohio State because the Browns were dog shit, or they were gone, or they were dog shit.
So me watching football, my top 3, and I'm not going to order them because, again, drinking, Barry Sanders, LaDainian Thomas, and Adrian Peterson.
Okay, so I didn't watch a lot of Barry Sanders. LaDainian Tomlinson was my number 1. And then it was Adrian Peterson. Those are the guys that when I started watching and playing football, because I didn't get to play football until I was in 8th grade. I wasn't allowed to. My mom would not let me. I was a really good baseball player. I could not play football. She would not let me touch a football field. We got dogs barking. Hey, shut up!
I'm only adding to it.
I did not watch a ton of football because I was a huge baseball guy. When I really got into football, LaDainian Tomlinson is my guy. He was so dynamic, and then give me Adrian Peterson. I still remember Adrian Peterson running through, 8 guys on the fucking Cleveland Browns when we played the Vikings. So that's where I go with that, is LT and then Adrian Peterson. You cannot give the ball to a back that much anymore.
Yeah.
He's he was overused in college. He was the entire Penn State team. And now he was way, well, I don't know if he was overused. He was used the same level that CMC is used, who I worry about as well. When he got his massive contract, I was like, oh man, I'm worried for him.
Yeah.
Because they get cut or they get hurt. He got hurt last year, so we'll see what happens. I love Saquon. He is a supreme talent, but supreme talent doesn't always win in the NFL. Look at Jadeveon Clowney. He was one of the most dominant defensive ends in college. One of the most dominant defensive ends when he came into the NFL. He was physically superior to damn near everybody else who lined up at that position. That does not always equate to production. And that worries me about Saquon.
Yeah. I think Saquon is, unfortunately, I don't have faith in his career really ever having much of a peak from where it's already been just because of the injury. So, again, not to just talk about the Vikings, but Adrian Peterson.
Saquon, prove me fucking wrong. Go out there and rush for over 2,000 yards.
I really like him.
You're not going to do it on the goddamn Giants, though. They're going to pick up your fifth-year option. Yeah. There's no doubt. As soon as you can get the fuck out of New York, get the fuck out of New York.
And that's the thing that sucks is that when you have such a supremely talented running back like that, they're going to go high. It's better off that you are a second-round pick or later running back who ends up showing their talent in the NFL.
Nick Chubb's already got his new deal.
Yeah.
Saquon's on his rookie deal.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon. Like, very good running backs who were able to make their nut on their first rookie deal a little bit, but then now they're actually able to get a big amount of money later on. Like that, not having that fifth-year option allows you to enter the market earlier and get paid. I think I said this in one or two podcasts ago. I wish there was a different structure for running backs when it comes to NFL rookie salaries.
I agree. There should be a different structure for running backs, and there should be a different structure for quarterbacks. There should be a separate cap for what you can do with a quarterback because they take up so much fucking cap space.
Yeah.